Welcome back, folks, to the Wealthy Delivery Podcast. Today, I got one of my favorite homies in the world, my guy, my brother from another mother, the God, Young Biz, Ron B, man. What's good, man? Welcome to the podcast, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. How's it going, DC?
Hey, man, this conversation is long overdue, man. We ever since we lived together, man, we had some of the deepest conversations, and I missed those big time. So now that I have my own platform,
There's a lot of self-growth during those conversations, man.
Oh yeah, especially now, man. Like just with the state of the world today. But we ain't gonna get onto all that because this is a place for positivity and energy. So fuck what the rest of the world talking about. But nah, man, it's just a lot of growth, and we're growing every day, and we definitely have grown over the last couple years now being dads. So
that's crazy.
How's that treating you, man? How's that life, man? Shout out to Rose, shout out to Taylor. How's that going?
Right, man. It's cool, man. I love every moment of it, but it can be tough though, for sure. Yeah. You got the same thing with young Grayson,
Hey,
see him out there growing, prospering. We need to get them two together for sure for a little play date, man. Like
for sure, bro. Like and that's even like my whole point of like what I'm doing, man. Because I know eventually it's gonna come a point in time where like I want to do exactly what I want to do when I want to do it. So and like if that took
clocking in and out type stuff.
Yeah, and if that took a little sacrificing in the beginning, for me to set this whole thing up. Because I realized, like, what I did 3 to 4 years ago gave me what I have today. But if so these last 3 or 4 years of building, it's going to be a point where, like, I feel like fucking with Ron Biz, man. Let's drive up to Cleveland today, see what he's talking about. Grayson, let's go. Let's shoot there.
On some random
ass Tuesday or Thursday, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that's my whole thing, man. It's like, I knew it was going to take time for me to get to that point. So it's like I might as well stop waiting and start building it today. And I've pretty much been doing that ever since Grayson was born, or even before then. Because
you have. I mean, not that you need any, what's it called? Not that you need any remembrance, but yeah, we had that little business for a little while. That online business we ran together. We still got the merchandise, our little hats and everything, man. Young accessory guys.
I can't fit that motherfucker.
And that might come back. And that might come back forefront too. Because once I'm trying to get into this real estate business. I'm about to pay for these classes and take the little state licensing exam after all the classes are passed. But yeah, I'm going a different route than you. But it's all about self-worth, man.
Yeah, right. And even before I dig into that, because I do want to get into that a little bit more. But I just want to talk about like the first time we really got to know each other, man. Like. There's a few moments like that come to my head. There's definitely. Did we drive up to Canton together?
Probably did. It had to be something going on. It was Canton for sure.
Yeah, I feel like it was either Canton, because that day you still worked at Fastenal.
Yeah, and it was before I moved down to Columbus, though.
Okay, I think I do remember that.
Because we got a little cool before I actually moved down, and then we already know we was talking about the same stuff we're talking about right now that day, and it was like he was like, yeah, slide through. We'll discuss some business ventures or whatnot. It was like real. Yeah. It was real ambiguous though. But in that day we decided to. It was a freaking monsoon. It was a storm, and I'm like, do not feel like going, but I still went obviously because it was something that we needed to get done, and I was definitely happy with the fact that I weathered that little storm. It was crazy.
No, man, but like, yeah, I think I just remember you putting you for your job gave you the card to get gas for like the truck because you had the company truck.
Oh right, yeah.
And I remember you was like, man, come through, bro. I hook you up some gas.
Man, like, yeah, right, yeah.
You filled me up. Pause.
Young and reckless. Pause. Major.
But I was like, but yeah, like along those ways. And I think there was one time where we drove to Canton together. I don't know if it was I think maybe Marcus even rode that time. But I know on the way back, it was just me and you. And because we were both trying to like dip out early. It was like, yo.
Always. I always want to get back early to get my week started right, you know?
Right. So I was like, man, I'm bouncing. And you was like, bro, I'm with you. And that I slept like shit the night before because of Ryan and Trey, and like
king of the snores, CEO of snores.
Yo, that was like I slept none that night. I was like, yo, I gotta get back to the crib so I can get some sleep.
Right.
And, we rolled back together, man. It was dope conversation. Really got to kick it with you. And then once we like lived together, you know, it was really a wrap after that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Our stories were. I just felt like our upbringing was so similar.
So our parents. Yeah, grandparents. You know, like man.
And so you're just a dude, man. I related to right off rip, and I wish, like, you one of them people, man. I wish I would have met sooner. You know what I mean?
Oh, like, yeah, for sure, man. I feel like we missed out on a lot of just good times, basically.
Right. And
before life got so serious in adulthood,
right.
You know.
And so even with this podcast, man, it's a good way to like bring on people, one, that I really fuck with, and two, man, just to tell people how much I appreciate them, man, because I don't think we do that enough, especially as black men. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't tell each other we really appreciate each other. It's just automatic. Like, we know it. But it's like, you still need to hear that sometimes, man. So I definitely
for sure.
appreciate
especially with the stuff going on right now, and you never know what your boys are going through, because us it's slander 99% of the time. So
99%.
You got to throw in a little bit of love sometimes, just so they know it's not all just jokes.
Right.
Like yeah,
for sure, bro. But back to that, when you moved in, back to like we were trying to figure this thing out, the whole online thing. Like I was even like flipping stuff on eBay. I was building websites and trying to like sell stuff on websites. But do you remember that night we got that first sale?
Yeah, man, it was dope. Like we can do this, and I remember exactly what it was. It was a Game of Thrones necklace.
Yeah,
and it came from one of our Facebook ads. Actually brought in that sale.
Right, and I remember that night because, man, we're sitting there. I'm sitting at the right in your doorway. I'm like talking about like, yo, man, this is gotta work. We're talking about the possibility, like, yo, this is gonna work. You know me. I'm always, when I get in my zone, I'm on my motivational spiel.
Yeah, for sure.
I just remember the notification company. I was like, bro, we just made a sale. And he was like, shut up, bro.
Right.
I'm like, bro, no bullshit. We just made a sale. And like, bro, we were so hyped, bro, like off that one little sale. And like, cause it was just like we figured it out. We ain't gonna quit. And like I've been addicted to it ever since. Like I can't like stop. Like I was just telling my moms today. I was like, I couldn't even stop if I wanted to. Like I don't even know how to like. I couldn't just stop and go get a job, or I just don't know how. Like I just can't. I know too much of something else to go do this. So that was a dope moment, man. But I enjoyed our moments living together, man. Just dope ass conversation, routines. We had our routines down. Like it was just it was a lot of growth because I was trying a lot of new things. Like I was trying to, let me just eat straight seafood while I'm working out to see how that affects me mentally and physically. We were doing a lot of stuff like that, just changing. And I forgot about the eBay thing because I was doing that too with you for a while, going to the thrift stores, finding nice products, and then flipping them on, I don't know, was I using eBay or a different platform? It was probably eBay, but I forgot about that as well. Like CDs and all, like classic CDs and stuff like that. I forgot. Right, bro.
Forgot we did that.
And that was just like, I needed to go through those things to get to where I am today, man. Cause like, it was all like, I never expected those things to like be the end all be all, like, all right, I'm gonna do this permanently. But I just like, I need to learn the process of selling something online for one. Like I was such a consumer my whole life. I was like, well, I'm about to be, the distributor, and flip that script.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
once I made that first profit, it was like, yo, I gotta figure out how this works. But I do got a few questions, man. I know you got a meeting here at 12, so I want to try to keep you too long.
We're cool. We're cool.
Pretty sweet. You been reading anything lately, man? Any books or anything like that or anything that's just been jumping on? I know it's kind of hard to squeeze that in sometimes, but
yeah, it is hard to squeeze that in sometimes. But actually, I just got 2 books delivered. Well, one last week and one last night. Everybody, it's no big deal. Just obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
I have to be honest, I haven't cracked it open yet, but I do plan on. And this one is just more so about self-wealth and what would the Rockefellers do. I heard of something really good. The book, it was like $5,
okay.
And I can't wait to get into this one actually though, because I've seen a couple of guys talking about self-wealth and stuff, and yeah, this is one of the ones.
I might have to check that out because I had the epiphany maybe like a few weeks ago. It's like, yo, because I'll be done my second book here soon. Like it'll be completely done, ready to go out, and
are you still packaging that with the first book? Like for sales or no? Okay.
Yeah. So if you go to like Wealthy Delivery, actually if you go to the link in my bio, like in Wealthy Delivery, it should say Nepotism for Dinner. You click that link, it'll take you to the sales page where you can buy Nepotism for Dinner, and then you can get my first book, An Hour Play Keeps the 9 to 5 Away, for like $11.29, which is Grayson's birthday, $11.29. So Nepotism for Dinner.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. You know, it's meaningful because it's for him. You know, I write books so he doesn't have to create an income when he's like 18. Like,
all of this is for him. You know what I mean?
The whole thing, the whole shebang. But I'll send you the link after we talk about afterwards.
I actually just got it. I already went on it real quick.
Oh, look at you, bro! You're so fast. See, the thing about Ron B too, he's not only just the fast talking motherfucker. He's a fast acting motherfucker too. So.
Oh yeah. Y'all always say Ron B's with the shit or Mr. Punctual or whatever. I try to be, man.
I love it though. You know we
get that stuff from. You know we get it from our parents too. Like mine was the opposite because my dad, bless his heart, the man is always late. He'd be on the couch, said he just got on the freeway, and I'm sitting right next to him. Like, who are you lying to? So me, I became the opposite. You know what I mean?
For sure. But no, like my newest book is called Nepotism for Dinner, and this is just an easy way to even promote my book because like I didn't really promote my first one like that, like because I was still figuring things out, and I didn't even decide I was going to be a writer. Like it wasn't until writing this book that I was like, oh shit, I'm a fucking writer. Like I didn't even look at myself as an author after I did the first one. I was like, it was just because that's not where I wrote it. I wrote it because I was learning pretty much all those things I was learning like the years we lived together, all this, you know, motivation and different tactics and different strategies and principles. I was like, I got to leave this behind for Grayson because, you know, I need
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, some foundation for him to resort to if I'm not here. And that was literally the only reason I wrote that. But people loved it, man. And people, so it's like, but writing was always a skill that I had. And I even talk about that in this book, like how I knew it was a skill, even in high school and elementary school. But the teachers didn't groom me into like, hey, you should write a book one day. Like, that's the easiest way to create passive income.
And that's funny that you say that too, because I used to love, I was one of those kids, I would finish my book reports early because I would read a book and then I would like to write about it, like the knowledge that I learned and how I took this. But I never thought about author or writing. I still haven't thought about that. I'm more so of a, I guess I like to read. I like to read this stuff. So I would read George, but the author route. Yeah, you surprised me when you went that route though. But I'm pumped to see it progressing where it's going. You know,
I'm spitting hardcore in there. Like I'm very excited to get because this one, like I said, the first one I wrote on accident, but this one I wrote on purpose. So I'm really talking my shit. Like I held nothing back in this book. So I'm definitely pumped to finish it out. What was the thing? So you say you always love to read. What was the thing that made you, or what was the book I should say? Because I know for me, like coming out of high school and college, like I just wasn't reading that much.
Yeah, for sure. Unless they made us, you know. Yeah.
What was the book that really? Now I read all the time. Like I don't fuck around. But what was the book that made you start reading again?
Okay, so again would have been like an old novel. A while ago, I went to Barnes & Nobles and I found a whole bunch of Stephen King novels for cheap. And I read, I can't remember if it was A Mist or Cujo, like the one about the dog. But I got them all like paper copies, but it was one of those. And I'm like, I already read the book, but it was years ago that I read it and rereading it. I'm like, man. Like I forget how my mind works. Like I visualize stuff. It's just like watching a movie for me when I'm reading stuff. Right. Like 'cause I love movies too, but the book is it gives you way more detail. It draws you in more. Like and people don't, especially the newer generation, they don't take advantage of reading enough, you know, which is sad. But
I think the biggest thing too, it gives you that ability to be, you know, paint your own picture.
Literally create your own picture. Yes.
So it's definitely, and that's going back to like why I wrote my first book. Grayson loves books. Like he adore. Like we read books every night, and like, so if this dude loves books, like, what's one way to enter his world? Write a book, and if he sees himself on the cover, but he'll always love to read.
Oh, for sure. Books. So yeah, it's embedded in him now.
Yeah. So and I was like, oh, I can write a book every year and release it on his birthday, and boom, it's like that's what I decided to do. So
that's pretty dope. And he might turn around and be an author and start doing the same thing, release it on his birthday, or release his books on your birthday, like as a sort of a appreciation and shout out to Dad.
He could start at probably like 8, and I was 31, about to be 32 when I released my first book. Like he could be releasing books his whole life. Like by the time you get to the college age, like what the fuck I need to go to college for? Like you know how I go.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
So it's been a lot of downtime. I'm not gonna say downtime, but a lot of working from home. You know, big change and shift in the world. So it's important to like still feel inspired or feel like your best self, man. So what is the thing that makes you feel that way?
You said what? What was the last part about feel that way?
What's the thing that you've done now, especially during these times, to make you feel like your best self or feel inspired? Like what's the thing that you do? It could be it could be playing with Rose. It could be hopping on the game for a little bit. It could be I know you've been in the gym a lot. You've been killing it in the gym. So shout out to you in there, boy. I see you.
Appreciate it, man. Trying, bro. But yeah, it's definitely the time with her though. Like you miss out on that time because of the commuting to work and stuff like that. But working from home, I definitely appreciate just seeing her more. Like she get home from daycare or whatever, or me being able to drop her off or pick her up sometimes, depending on my schedule is a little bit more flexible now. But it's just definitely seeing her and being able to. Cause me, I like going in the office. I'm a social person, so me seeing coworkers, my supervisors, and stuff like that, it keeps me more motivated at work. So now, in order to keep that motivation, it's definitely just seeing her, and it's sweet to get stuff done around the house. So when I get off work, I have absolutely nothing to do besides read or spend time with her or go to the gym.
Yeah,
that's real. Yeah, it's definitely a hard thing, and hopefully by next 6 months, maybe I'll be back in there. Never know. It just depends on how everything goes with this pandemic. You know what I mean? But how are you adjusting? Because you're still in office, right, and everything, or no?
Well, actually, no. I left that place. Like,
okay, great. Okay, great.
So I don't work full time anymore. Like I couldn't. Like they wouldn't let me go part time. And I was like, and I was just killing myself, man. I was like, man, mentally, I was killing myself. I was like, yo, this is because I would spend my, it was like 8 to 4 or 8 to 5. I'm like, man. When I wake up in the morning, that's usually like my best thinking time. So like I'm wasting a lot of like brain energy at work. Like, and like by the time I get home or whatever, it's like I'm kind of drained from dealing with stuff I really don't care about all day. Like, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Or I'm gonna go crazy. And I was making income, from my book sales, from my gaming stuff on YouTube. And I was like, I will still have to cut back a little bit. I was like, I'll pick up a side hustle. But I was like, I can't give up this much time at this place because I gotta figure out, my dream. Like I gotta do what I need to do. So now I just have a part-time job. I only work like 3 days a week, from like 4 a.m. to like 12 p.m.
Oh man.
And so I get in, I get out, and I can go pick up Grayson, go hang out with Grayson, take a nap if I need to, and then still work on my own shit. And do what I need to do.
More important anyways.
Right. So that's what I do now. So like my time to work on this, especially now, it's more concrete. I know exactly what I'm gonna do, like what I'm doing, what I'm selling, how I do it. And I also have a coaching program. I went to this workshop. I may have did that. It was like October-ish. And it was like a 3-day intense virtual workshop where pretty much one of my coaches, he showed you how to take your knowledge or expertise and turn it into a coaching program and sell it for like $3 to $10K. So I was like, all right, well, when I went into it with something else, but the system he gave us, you can pretty much plug in any skill. Like you take any skill and, because people want to learn different things. So now I took my book writing skill, because now I have 2 books. It's like, now people are reaching out to me like, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I have a person, we actually host another segment of the podcast together, which is called Writer's Block, where we give out tips and stuff as well. And she wrote her book, and I helped her get her stuff set up, and boom, she made like her first sale within like hours of us setting up her page. And then she just hit me this morning and was like, I love waking up to money. And she made like 2 sales in her sleep. So I was like, that's the goal for me. Like that's why I thrive off of them. So that's I think everybody should write a book. Honestly, I think everybody should.
I definitely would like to.
Bro, you definitely. We'll holler off the podcast, but
sure. Because
I have a formula now, so
I got a lot to say too, to be honest.
Yeah, man, you should, man, because you're a smart dude, and I respect certain people's opinions, and you are one of those people.
Yeah.
So
same here, because we've been around a lot of BS.
Yeah, you know what I mean. If you could turn back time and talk to like your 18-year-old self, what would you say?
I would have tried to start something like Yeah, young ground beef. I probably would have tried to do that young accessory guy, something along those lines back then, which young 18-year-old me would have been 2008. Just get that part, because from there to where we're at now, all like way more technology advanced. Everything is online, everything like that. It would have been something online based for sure. Don't focus too much on trying to be in school, because college is not the end for all. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If I didn't go, you know what I mean? Like, so. Because I'm not gonna force my daughter to go either. Like if she wants to, great. But if she doesn't, there's other paths.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I mean, I'll just be honest. I hope Grayson doesn't go to college. Like, right. I hope by the time he's already gonna be making money anyway. Like, I'll make sure of that. But I think you said something there, man. Like, college just ain't it. I think college for the most part was for me was just the people I met. Like, I just met some really cool people.
Same.
Like, you went to Mount Union. I almost went. We could have met earlier. I'll take the blame on this one.
Yeah.
Because I almost went to Mount Union, and I graduated a year before you. Mm-hmm. So you would have been there with next year. RT was there. Bees. Yep. So I would have met you guys a lot sooner, man. But I had to get back to like Columbus, man, to be closer back to my mom. So,
for sure. Yeah, definitely understandable.
But I was almost a Raider, man.
Right, and it's not like, I mean, there's definitely a lot of jobs that you do need a degree for because you need that knowledge. But yeah, mostly it was just the social experiment of having a room with people that you don't even know, different race. So that helps you grow, especially at an 18-year-old and coming from inner city Cleveland. But then I loved all my classes. I couldn't say I hated any classes from freshman year to senior year. There was some harder than others, but I like the education factor. But I'm like, I haven't applied anything since I graduated 8 years ago.
Yeah. So
like any of this stuff, everything I've been doing now is based off of my work experience. Any job that I'm getting, and the degree is like a back burner. So I don't see the crazy push when you're in high school. You got to go to school. And us being like young black kids, like your parents, your first generation college student, they're like, oh yeah, go to college. You get into college, great. But then you don't know what to do. They don't know what to do because they never went there. So you there, then what do I do with the degree afterwards? How do I turn this piece of paper into money? And nobody has nobody's giving you the steps because nobody has got that far. And then you just stuck out here with a lot of times with a degree that you can't even get a job for, or you need like a postgraduate degree to keep moving forward and stuff too.
Yeah, you're gonna love this book, bro, because I dig deep in that. I attack all that in this book. Like, okay. I fucks with it up. Like, I don't. It's dumb. Let me just say it's dumb. It's dumb really the way they have it set up, man. It's not, and it's definitely not set up for a black person in America. To come to, does it work for some? Yeah, absolutely. But for the majority, no, it's not where it's at.
And we're not even getting into the financial part about it. Like that's just ridiculous. Like that could be a whole nother segment by itself.
Yeah, exactly. What is the best tip for making the world a better place? What would you, if you had to make the world a better place, where would you start?
Man, that's a tough one. I would probably start with, to be honest, I would just start with trying to help out all the homeless. There's so many people that are probably educated that could cure something or educate some people that's laying out there homeless. And a lot of times, sometimes it's their fault, but a lot of people see them as their fault they're homeless. It's not always their fault that they're homeless. You know what I mean? Right. It could be mental disorder or just financial instability. But anyways, there's so many people that's out there that's, first of all, struggling. I hate seeing it. I always get money no matter what they're going to spend the money for. But if we can get them out the streets, put them some type of housing just to see if they get on their feet, they could help change this world, just because we're not seeing all of that stuff. You don't know what they got to offer sitting out there on the curb, and then they just die, and then nobody even thinks about them anymore.
Yeah, Chantel just
like, so I would start off by trying to do something with the homeless.
Chantel just said to me this just last night. She was talking about like some guy who was a doctor. She had a patient, and he was a doctor in Russia, I believe. And he was like, but he couldn't even, like, he can't just come over here and be a doctor, of course. He was like, I think he was a truck driver here. Like, he's getting paid way. And she's like, but I can take my nursing degree over to Russia and become a nurse right away. But it was just, yeah, like you said, man, this dude has all the knowledge in the world, and he can't even like use it the way he really.
Who knows what he could do to help us?
You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely helping the homeless is definitely, I think, pretty important.
We can't forget about like everybody's people, and they're literally treated like trash or something like that. Anybody could be one paycheck short or a fire from a job away from being right next to them under that bridge or whatever like that. You don't even know. But shout out to Chantel. She know what that means.
Yeah, she's gonna love that.
All right.
So what if you could do a one project, no limits on resources, money, funds, people, you had access to everything you needed to complete this project, what would be that project? This is your dream, this is your baby. This is like, this is what they're gonna build me a statue for.
Man, one project I would. Man, I don't know. That is tough, man. I'm about to get back to that one. First thing I could, man, I don't know.
Just give me one that it doesn't have to be your number one. Just give me one of them.
Well, just one of them. I wanted to start a different type of branch of like Boys and Girls Club, because I don't know about in Canton or Columbus, but I know in Cleveland they're like disappearing down to like none Boys and Girls Club, and that helped keep. I wanted to make a different branch of that had like a tutoring section. Like obviously people go there to hoop. I know we went there to hoop or whatnot. Me more so like indoor soccer and stuff like that. But then a different wing would be nutritional education, because people don't know about eating healthy and all they know is ramen or fast food, blah 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 blah. And then we get diabetes and blah, like a lot of stuff, the precursors that we can like get out of our DNA as Black people. But nutritional, and then another section I was thinking about like mentoring, because the whole street gang stuff is like, we all know why I was invented or whatever like that, but we can get out of that mindset too. And I was gonna have the Boys and Girls Clubs, set up a couple of them in Cleveland and interview people that are the same like-minded as me to run the facilities and hire nutritionists in and stuff like that, just to like change the whole dynamic of like what's going on, like totally flip this up 180. These kids are going to go home, because I did this when I was interning at the hospital and the YMCA in Alliance, Ohio. We had this Be Fit program for like kids. It was boys, because the girls had a different program, but we educated them on getting healthy. We did these little fitness tests, and they did a couple push-ups, sit-ups, run around the gym. But then we asked them, what did they eat last night for dinner? And they said, well, I ate this. And then we told them like, well, how about asking your mom to take you to this restaurant better because it's healthier for you? Like stuff that they just didn't even know, or who cooks at home. They're 8 years old cooking for themselves, but just stuff that they can take home to their parents, because their parents might not be like just negligent. Sometimes their parents just don't know any better. They ate McDonald's all the time when they was a kid, so they feed their kid McDonald's all the time as a kid. Like, so just something like break the wheel, man. Like just start over from scratch, and like I'm all about just man, make it. I just want us to thrive, man. Yeah,
no doubt, man. Like, because the thing is, which even started me, like you were here. I know you remember. Like I would get up, I would stretch, I would turn on my motivational shit. Like,
yeah.
Because I realized you can put, in even goes to stuff like meal prepping. Like we would like meal prep, and it even went to us as just putting good habits on autopilot, man. You know what I'm saying? Like all that eating and other shit like trash, like that's such an auto-driven thing. Like don't even think about it. Like, let me get this. And it drifted down from some parents, and like those kids are feeling that same effect. But if this kid gets in this habit of like eating healthy where it's not even a thought, then you change their life tenfold pretty much.
Oh, for sure. And you're going to change somebody else's life, because they're going to, if not a lot of people, they're going to at least share what they've learned and done to them, like felt physically with somebody else. So you've assisted with somebody else's life just by helping this one person.
Yeah.
Like, and if you start at a young age, which obviously we know kids can pick up languages or skills, anything at a young age, why not teach them healthy eating habits and stuff like that, so they're not dependent on stuff. But we know there's, again, we can have a whole other segment. There's a lot more money in curing diabetes and teaching people how not to fall into that trap. With all the sugar and gluten.
People don't realize that ounce of prevention weighs more than a pound of cure. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if I can avoid the disease, with something so simple, and then try to, instead of just getting the disease and having to do this horrible, costly thing over and over again, where I just keep spending money to barely stay alive, versus I could just ate right and avoid the whole problem in the first place. Like it's even with COVID, like people are like, I get it's a pandemic and all, but like, people talking about COVID killing them, but they still killing themselves other ways, man. With, whether it's just fucking eating like shit every week, drinking 7 days a week or whatever it is. Like the little mask ain't gonna protect you from that shit you putting in your stomach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's great that people are like, well, I just saw some statistics like the flu is very down this year because people are more so worried about the COVID, if they're washing their hands and stuff like that more, which is great. But yeah, great. You're not getting COVID, but you still not cooking 5-6 days a week. Like Like you want to go to whatever it is all the freaking time. Like you said, drinking too. Like I would say, like, you know me, like I enjoy my socials and stuff like that too. But I've literally cut out like the hard liquor. Like I have like a couple 0 sugar 90 calorie seltzers that I might crack 2 after work and stuff like that. Just trying, even though I still enjoy the drink, I'm not going all the way down to like the O'Doul's, but I am like trying to get out the mindset that I need some Jack and Coke after I get off, like that stuff that really affects your body. I'm weaning myself off to being like super, like just more healthy. I got a lot of work, you know what I'm saying? I'm not done at all.
Oh, nobody's perfect, but you've been looking good. You've been killing it. You like I said, you in the gym consistently. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm not telling people don't enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the best part of life is moderation. The reward. Yeah, but
moderation just to be healthy. Yeah, and you don't want, and then you never know. Like my daughter picks up so much stuff that I don't even know. Like she's watching me, and like I might like today I was like tickling her on her jaw. While she was eating breakfast, and she was telling me chill, like chill. I'm like, what are you telling me to? And you know that's me. So don't be like, how are you telling me to chill? When have you heard like me say chill? Like, so it's all about good habits. Like they're gonna watch what you do after when you get stressed. If you get mad or if you make a drink, they're gonna get older. They're gonna start earlier when they're 16, 17, can't pass this high school test. They want to go out and get hammered with their buddies and stuff like that, just because they're watching you with the bad habits, and it's not necessarily something you're teaching them, but they're gonna shadow or imitate, pick up habits from you. And Grace is picking up all the wealthiest habits from you, and I'm trying to do the same thing with her because it's so easy for them to pick up anything bad because they pick up everything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt, bro. That's 100% spot on, man.
We can have a whole other segment about the kids too easily.
Speaking of eating, if you could have, this probably be a tough question for you too, especially off the top of the head. Everybody, if I asked this question so far, low-key had a tough time pulling it up, but if you could have dinner with any 4 people, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Any 4?
Yeah, if you got 4 people, man, you gotta have a little dinner, man. Just shoot the shit.
It'd have to be my grandmother probably, and my great grandmother, because I want to just those 2 out of 4, because I want to know if they had a plan or where did they want to see our family at, like. If where I'm at now was that the best that they could have imagined back then, or because my great grandma was half Indian, Native American, so I'm like, I don't know, like what type of thought she would have had, and like if where I'm at is would she see me, or did she feel like I could be somewhere else right now, or what plans she would have for my mother, and how my mother mothers me, like why is she this way, like how did y'all parent her, and like just see where my family is at, because everybody has family issues, but they all start from somewhere, and a lot of grandparents are way better grandparents than they were parents. So I just want to see like where stuff stemmed from, but also I would like to go. I would love to sit down with Mandela, Nelson Mandela, and then I don't know, man. I hate to be stereotypical and be like Martin Luther King and stuff like that, but definitely Nelson Mandela, and maybe somebody like Maya Angelou, just because like she wasn't like. Their mind is so open to stuff that I haven't even thought of. Still to this day, I'm reading old stuff that they might have said or quotes or speeches, and I'm like, how are they that woke way back then, and we're still dealing with the same issue? It's crazy. Like stuff like I would love to just I would need a whole week with those people though, like, right? For sure,
you need more than a dinner. No,
and that still wouldn't be enough. That still wouldn't be enough.
That's a dope answer for real. I fucks with that heavy. Definitely, yeah, man. That's probably the best answer I got so far, if I'm being honest. You know, I'm not biased, so.
Oh man, right? Yeah, at all.
I got some fun questions here for you. I got a few more we bought through with this. What superpower do you have? I know everybody like it's a human. Like I feel like my superpower is the ability to connect things that aren't related to something and connect it to how it is. Like so. I guess able to connect dots is the thing for me. So what do you feel like the thing is for you that kind of like, yo, this is a superpower?
I just think, well, I got a funny one and a regular one. So being serious to answer your question, I would say relatability. I can relate to anybody, like whether they're Trump 2020 or like, yeah, whatever, like pro-choice or whatever, like it may, or anything it may be. I can find something, like give me 5 minutes with somebody and we can make a couple of jokes. I can figure out somebody's humor or whatever like that, find a way to relate to them, and therefore we got a middle ground. I feel like a lot of people just need to relate more to people, and then we wouldn't have all these issues we're having today. And I think I'm like king of relating.
I'll back you on that too, because I think even that was like we're both pretty similar in that sense, and that's what even connected us so quickly. Like when we met, it was just like, yo, I fucks with this dude heavy. Like it was like probably the first 5 minutes we're like, yo, this is like Rob B. Yo, this is my guy.
Right. Or somebody would say something and we barely knew each other. We just look at each other like, what did they just say? Like
facts, bro. Facts. So yeah, right. I definitely give you that on that for sure.
But also like just some fact, I stutter sometimes because I talk so fast, but I think even faster. Bro, my mind races, and I think something like I don't know how, like whether it's a witty comeback or a game show or something at work, like I am like my mind gets the answer so quick. I'm like, I wish I knew more so I can do that more, and I need to find a way to make money off of how fast I can think. Because what's it called? Applebee trivia, pop culture night is not. Yeah, I'm not trying to. No, I need to find a real way to make money off of how fast I can think, and I just don't really. I've been trying to like I've been vocal about that with my fiance.
I have this thing I do now, because I would spend like hours studying on my computer, reading different listen to motivational stuff. But now I have like a more of a system now to when I do it, and I have these things called power hours, where actually where's my notebook at? I have it. So before I take all my notes and shit, my idea bank, man. I gotta keep a bank of ideas.
Spiral.
And like I have this thing called Power Hour. This is how I generate ideas. So pretty much what I do, I start off, I do it right after I meditate too. I got into meditation really heavy probably towards the end of us living together, man. I probably haven't missed a day since. But Jeopardy, the Jeopardy's on Netflix. And I like to start off like seeing how many answers I get right.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how I definitely recommend, especially a person that thinks like you and is fast like that. I definitely just like the test or like work your brain out. I would say do that, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
And like I'll put tallies every time I get something right. I just put a tally and I just test myself. And then like the next I'll read like 10 pages. I'll listen to a podcast or video, and then I'll listen to something inspirational. But I do that within an hour, and that just always makes me feel good and helps me generate ideas. And that's what even like this whole podcast and everything I do now came from, like me sitting around trying to think how I want to do things. But I definitely think Jeopardy, I can see you on Jeopardy, bro, just like lighting it up, bro. Like I know that dude Alex Trebek passed this year or last year, RIP. But I don't know what if they plan on bringing back the show or not. But like,
I thought they said they were going to bring it back, and they were bouncing around a lot of ideas for hosts and stuff. Like I heard this on the radio, so I don't know how true it is. But they were talking about bringing the guy that was undefeated for the longest and have him host. I forget his name. He was on it forever, undefeated. But they're thinking about bringing him out there to host. So I forget his name.
Sometimes I think like, man, maybe I should really because I would surprise myself on how much I know, and I'll be like, maybe I should really one day think about trying to get on Jeopardy. Like,
why not, dude? Why not?
That's always a little that I put down the side table, but I may visit that one day. But
I would love to see that.
So that's a quick way to come up really quick. Make a quick 20,000 in 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, real quick.
Something like.
Yeah, a lot of people like sidebar. A lot of people they don't know when to take their like funds and leave because like a little something like that just given to you. Well, you earned the 20,000. Like it could change your life if you invest it in the right way and do like that instead of blowing it on a car or some D's or whatever it might be.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too. Like learning all this stuff, you learn how to like pretty much flip your money. And selling a book is an easy way to flip my money. Like it'll cost me very little to get up a website and host it. But now if I'm making consistent sales every day, that's flipping my dollar. Like I'm investing this $50, $60 a month to host my website with the 10 sales I make a day on my book. You know what I'm saying? That's like a $100 profit a day. You know what I'm saying? So it's learning how that flip. So you get a quick 20,000 or you get a stimulus check and you be like, yo, I can put this into this, you know what I'm saying? And get a return on my money. So
that's what I planned on doing too. Like I had no plans for that money. I'm not counting on that for like no bills. So I'm like, just use it towards a couple of real estate classes. It's not something I had expected to be coming to me anyways. So why not just throw it in something like real estate class, investing in myself so I can get this license and then hopefully have some 5 years from now, have this residual income coming from me and my daughter. So she teach her how to buy a house, flip a house, boom, get that money coming in. Cause real estate, like, I don't know,
we not done.
I got to,
we might have to. Yeah, we're not done. Like from those young accessory gods, we just needed time. And like with youngins, it's hard to finagle that time. But like before we know it, they'll be at that age where we are able to like connect like we used to and idea and mastermind together. So I think this is definitely, bro. It's because the thing is, over this last like couple years, I got access to, I have access to millionaires and things like that like from these networking events and these groups, and it's like, yo, I know people that know the play. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I still get calls today from I went to a seminar down in Columbus. I paid for it. It's Fortune Builders, but it was all about real estate and everything and how to get started. And they still calling me now saying that they're in my area because I need to update my address because they probably still think I'm down there. But yeah, dude, like I have access to plenty of guys who've been where I'm at, trying to get to where they're at now. Mm-hmm. And you do got to be open to like people just got to be open and listen and take a sit down and like you said, like those classes and those seminars and those teachings and getting coached. Some people hit a certain age, they don't want to be coached no more. They think they force themselves to be uncoachable by thinking they know everything. Yeah.
And it's like, and the thing is, what they know, what they think they know, they're not even doing anything with it. Like, so now you just holding on to this information for what? To show off to somebody when they try to put you onto a good idea?
To have a great drunk conversation at a bar.
Okay, cool. Yeah, good talk.
Know people like that too. All this knowledge is doing nothing with it,
No, it's regurgitating information. I address that as well. I address a lot of shit in my book because I address a lot of racism, just the way the system is built, how people think, and their knowledge of how they receive new information. And I'll tell you this. I got a chapter in there called "White Education versus Black Knowledge," and I really lay into someone. I'll be honest too on that because I had a specific person in mind when I wrote that chapter because some people say smart shit, and it has to be addressed. Yeah. And what better way to do it? I'm like, I don't gotta do it. I gotta make a scene.
Right.
I just put it in my book. Yeah. And it's also a lesson I get to teach Grayson when he reads that chapter. Like, oh shit, my dad don't take no shit.
Right. Facts.
All right, so now we got the superpower you have. What superpower do you wish you had? Like a real superpower, like comic book, fucking Marvel.
Oh, DC, we're young. Yeah, we're a young anime and all that type of guys out here. So, man, I would say just, I don't know, maybe. Hey, that's a tough one too, man. There's too many of them. But yeah, you got all the tough ones today. But yeah.
I had to make this podcast engaging, man. I had to bring the question, I bring the fire, bro.
Right. I don't know, man. What about? Okay, I'm gonna just name one because there's too many of them. I would say maybe flight.
Flight. That's my top. That's in
flight,
my top,
man.
sure.
Yeah, flight. I was thinking like people don't say super speed, but man, super speed is really dope too. But I would have to say flight. Like even if I wasn't super strong, I could be average strong. With the flight, you can still save people and just.
Those are literally my top. They're in my top three. Flight and super speed. They're in my top three.
And then just and then with the flight, you can do hashtag FLF. Like anywhere I want to go.
Well,
if you know.
I did an interview with him, asking him the same questions. Maybe it was like a week or two ago. Because I'm gonna start dripping these bad boys out and start posting them on social media.
For sure.
I wanted to get a nice batch before, that way I'm not struggling to get episodes when something comes up. But he said instant transmission from the Dragon Ball Z. I was like, that fits you perfectly.
I wish I watched a lot of stuff. I never got into the DBZ, so I don't even know what that is.
Well, that's pretty much you can think of Aruba, and he'd be like, you just put this, and he just, boom, he's in Aruba.
He's there?
Yeah.
That is such a him, for sure. Yeah. That's just like him.
Shout out to the God.
Right, shout out to him, man.
Super speed and flight are my top three, but my number one, and this one's going to be hard to beat. Ever since I saw this, I've been in love with it. But it was from when Doctor Strange, he was sleeping and he was still reading the book.
Projected himself, and he was he retained the knowledge when he woke up.
Oh yeah, my
I think I remember you telling me this. Yeah, that hit you a certain way. It's funny,
bro.
Man.
It hit me
that
hard.
Hit you a certain way.
Yeah. And
now that you think about it, I would love to do that. I would love to. Yeah. Why not? Why not just not sleeping? All the knowledge. You can apply that to anything, like fitness knowledge. So you wake up, you hit that gym way different. You know what I mean? Or whatever.
Bro,
yeah,
whatever
cooking,
you
like
learn,
learn how to feed yourself better. You'll be able to cure diseases, all types of stuff, bro.
Bro, that hit me. That
I
hit
forgot
me
about
crazy.
that. I forgot about that one. Yeah.
All right, man. I'm gonna get this last question in, man. We gonna call it a day, man. What would you say is the most important lesson you learned in your life? What was it like before you learned it, and what is it like now?
Probably when I was 7. I guess when I was 17, man, which is a tip. Like when I was 17, I got robbed twice, right? Once in August, once December 24th, December 26th, the day after Christmas in 2007. But anyways, after it happened, both times it was a black dude or whatever like that. But it made me realize, like, with the first time I didn't even see it come. I wanted to see my phone or whatnot, blah, 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 blah. But then after the whole incident, I'm like, man, like, I was trying to get this guy my phone because I thought he was struggling. And then he pulled out a gun, blah, 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 all this stuff. I'm like, we really don't look out for each other the way that I thought we do. Because you grow up, you're hearing your grandmother say, like, we used to do this. And they talk about the Panthers or, yeah, black people got to stick together. We look out for our own, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, we really don't. Like, the fact that this man is taking something from me that I earned for. I was working at a grocery store. I bought my phone. I paid my own phone bill, and you just taking something that I earned for. And I was shocked. Like, for a good month, I'm like, dang, that really happened to me, and I could have lost my life over this. And why? It was literally senseless crime. Like, I'm like, it made me think, like, man, like, it did make me a lot harder than what I probably would have been throughout my life just because of that situation. But it made me think, like, you really, like, sadly, like, a lot of times you might have to just look out for yourself, because if this random person can do this to another random person, like, I feel like somebody that knows you could do you even dirtier because they know more about you and more stuff on you. So it does make you a lot more sheltered, and made me realize, like, everybody doesn't have their best intentions involved. So you really need to, like, now I'm sheltered. If somebody, even when they want to know, hey, what time is it? I'm over, like, look at my watch, like, I tell them what time it is, like, a way, instead of just, oh yeah, no. Why are you asking about the time? You need any help with anything? Like, I probably would have been more so like that, just super giving and open, which some people are who haven't been associated with those situations. But it definitely opened my eyes up a lot, for sure. I was scared and whatnot, but then it happened again in December, and that time I was just mad because I had my girlfriend at the time with me, and I feel like I couldn't protect her. But yeah, bro, it was
I think you said something too, man. Like, you say, like, if there's strangers able to do this, you know, someone close to you can do it too. The thing about that too is, like, they know, if they're close to you, they know what you care about. Mm-hmm. So it's even a different kind of level of hurt when it's like someone close, like some random, like, yeah, that shit sucked. Well, what the fuck ever. But, like, yeah, when it's someone close to you, man, that's like almost heartbreaking. Like, yeah,
for sure. And it happens all the time. Like, I got plenty of stories about uncles doing, like, dirty stuff to my family and all types of stuff. Just crazy. Yeah. It does happen, man. Too, man. What about you though? Like what is one of the, like I know you're asking another question, but what about yours? Like that same last question.
We're gonna flip the script on you, boy.
Right.
I think, man, especially, I think it hit me definitely after Grayson was born. Like, I spent so much of my life doing what other people wanted me to do because they thought I was good at it. Like, I'm not one of those dudes that think, like, oh, I'm naturally good at everything, but I am good at a lot of stuff. Like, when I put my mind to it, and I'm good at stuff even I don't want, like, care about. So, like, people will push me into these, and I think about, like, even going to college, even doing this job or this, and it's like, I would have just said fuck it and did exactly what I wanted to do every time. Just trust my gut, because my gut is, like, is right most of the time, and even when it's wrong, I can live with the consequences of my gut being wrong versus me listening to somebody else's gut. So I think for me, it's just like, yo, do it now. Don't wait. Like, don't wait to try to be the, you know, live the perfect life because you don't want to offend somebody, or you don't, you know, this isn't their part of their plan. Like, nah, what the fuck do you want to do? We'll go do that shit. And it may, because I know where I'm at now, I'll be so far. I would have been doing this, but I would have been so far further than where I am now. But, like, I enjoy the journey. Like, you know what I'm saying? I
feel the same way. I feel the exact same way. Like, you're talking about, stop trying to be the image of what you think your family members or people want you to be, and just be what you want to be. Because I'll be trying to, like, tell people this all the time, that because, like, I tell my little brothers this, or anybody that comes to me with advice, I'm like, even if I don't know about it, I'm like, hey, you've made it this far doing what you want to do. Stop listen to what other people tell you, like you should get married before you have a kid, or because you have a kid, you have to get married to this person now. Like, no, like you're going to be the only one that lives with the consequences of getting married if you're not ready or have to get a divorce. They're not going to be there for you paying for these lawyers and paying for your new house if your house gets taken away. So do what you want to do, because you're the only one that's literally going to have to live with those. If they said they're going to be there, they might be there next to you, but they're not the ones getting called from debt collectors because you lost this, you lost that, or do what you want to do and not what somebody else wants. Like, it's literally your life and you literally only get it once. Like, so why are you living it for somebody else?
And even like the second that, man, it's like, I know I've never been a person. Now that may affect me more like in parenting and family, but it never affected me in like a friendship kind of way. Like, I never let my friends influence my thoughts and what I do. Cause I'm never put in this world to impress anybody. I'm never trying to impress anybody. Cause I'm too comfortable being me. And so once I had Grayson, I was like, all right, I'm going to, like, you go to your job, sometimes you got to put on, like, you talk in a different way, you do this and that. And when I was going to work, I was like, man, ain't none of these people talking about what I want to talk about. Ain't none of these, I'm not doing what I want to be doing. I'm not authentically being myself. And yeah, I'm always going to be real and honest with people and, like, caring and empathetic, but, like, authentically, like, myself, who I want to be at all times, I wasn't doing that. And, like, after Grayson was born, I was like, yo, I'm not about to, if nobody's going to know who I am, my son will know who I am. And that means being authentically myself every day, 24/7. So, I was like, yo, I got to be myself. And people get at the world's expense. They get to see. But the only person I really care to get to know the real me is Grayson.
Yep. So
he can be the real him. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the lesson.
Unapologetically too, man. It's like
super. And the older I get, the easier it gets. I'm just like, fuck it. Like, I have my own platform. I say what the fuck I want now. Like, this is my shit. I come talk my shit, and a person don't like it, fuck it. Oh well, that's on them. They got to deal with that. But
you get off your page. Don't watch then.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Don't listen.
But Biz, man, I appreciate you coming fuck with me, man. Real talk, man. And let me be the first to say, man, I love you, bro.
Yeah, love you too, man.
You my guy. And anytime, I'm sure this will not be your last time on this podcast for sure.
Oh, no, for sure. I just hope by the next time I need to have I'm having a bunch of systems. We're gonna have a lot more to talk about, basically. Let's just say that.
Anytime you want to come over and just talk some shit, bro. This is like, my platform is your platform, man. The way I look at it. So
yeah.
Anytime you're like, yo, DC, man, I got some shit to say. Let's do an episode. I'm
Facts.
down.
Yeah, we try to keep it positive though, because otherwise we could talk negative all day long about all the stuff that happened last night.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So,
but that's what I know for like, I ain't gonna go into it. I'm not.
It wasn't surprising what happened at the Capitol. Let's just
exactly.
Say
that. That's exactly where I was going. See, that's why you my nigga. You finished my statement without even me saying a word.
Yeah, it's sad, but yeah.
But. All right, man, I'll let you go ahead and get. I know you got like 10 minutes. I'm about to give me some lunch, man. Probably hit a few push-ups.
Yeah, I'm about to eat this breakfast. Yep. And go ahead, hit those push-ups, sir.
Yes, sir, man. But hey, man, I appreciate you, man. Get a love to the family, man. And I'll highlight you later, bro. All right, bro.
It sounds good. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, for sure. All
right, peace.
Peace.